And hello, ladies and gentlemen, or should I say my fellow time travelers, welcome back to another episode, or the very first episode of the very first series of Planetary's Throwback, where I, your fellow time traveling gamer, will travel through time and space throughout the awesome modern day games all the way back to the good old retro games to see which games are good, which ones are bad, and which ones is right in the middle. In today's episode, we're going to be traveling back through time to 1999 to have a look at the most unique game that managed to use the DualShock controls as it is, and managed to become the main staple for two more series for the PlayStation 2. Yes, oh yes, we're looking at Ape Escape. Now be sure you grab yourself some popcorn and your carbonated drinks and enjoy the time traveling journey back to 1999. Ape Escape. I remember this fun 3D rack-em-up platformer game developed by SCE Japan Studio with the director of, sorry if I get the names wrong, Masamichi Sakai, and the producer Susumu Takasuka and Takufume Fushiwa. With it being published by Sony, being released at May 31st for North America, June 24th for Japan, and soon being released on July 2nd for the Power version, all in 1999. With it being the launch release for the DualShock controls for the PlayStation 1, which means it was compulsory to have the DualShock control if you want to play this game. Not one of those naked controllers. Yeesh. Still remember those days. Ugh. With the remaster being later released for the PlayStation Portable in 2005 for Japan and USA, and 2006 for the Power version. Now no, I don't have the game per se, but I have heard some experience about the game. But since I haven't actually got the game itself, I'm going to be sticking to the PlayStation 1 version. So, because of its unique mechanism, I'm going to be reviewing this particular version of the game. Right. Now, before I actually go into the story, I'll make sure I throw up this timeline here so you guys can actually play the game by yourself without any spoilers. I'll give you 5 seconds. Right, can't say I've warned ya. With the game beginning in an amusement park called Monkey Park, is where we meet Specter, a lovable and cute white-haired monkey. Oh, he's so adorable, I just want to hug him. Sorry, that was a bit unprofessional here. Being a lovable mascot for Monkey Park, has come across one of the professor's inventions called the Peak Point Helmet. Don't ask me how it got there in the first place because I have no clue whatsoever of how it ended up being there. Spectre ends up wearing it and turning evil. How could this lovable monkey turn evil for some sort of reason? As that, he wants to take over the world by going to the professor's lab. And this is where we meet Spike, the character you'll be playing as, Jake for the US version, or Buzz for the Power version. They're racing against each other, also having a good chat about going back through time by using the professor's time machine with the professor along the journey. By the time they have arrived, the laboratory has been ransacked by Spectre and his army of monkeys. The professor and his assistant Natalie all tied up. With the power of stupidity by one of the monkeys, has decided to press the button to start up the time machine. No, bad monkey! Cause hey, why not? They're stupid. Not only do they teleport the army of monkeys and Spectre, but with Spike and Jake taking a journey through time. Spike will try to stop Spectre and the monkeys in rewriting history from each era. From the nature setting with gigantic dinosaurs roaming around in the Jurassic era, ambiguous yet interesting surroundings with dangerous drops in mysterious ages, which we came to realize that Jake not only traveled through time but also got captured by Spectre. Now under his command using brainwashing power, we came across Jake for a grand total of 3 times. 2 between eras, racing against him to the finish line, collecting the Spectre tokens at the finish line, but we will leave that for later, and 1 at the final stage, which we'll also get into in a minute. Sweet blue ocean scenery, secret base caves, and inside Dexter's stomach? Not sure how that works, but yeah, okay. In Oceania era, the cold blizzard, wonderful ice caves, and the whole mountain spire in the Ice Age, historical places, items, and iconic areas from medieval mayhem. This is where we also catch up to Spectre and Jake to try to stop them, but they end up hopping back in their time ship and warp back in time. This leads us back to the present day, where monkeys are still roaming around free, still rewriting history, or should I say the present, or the Futurana era. Not exactly why it's been called like that, or been named that way, but meh, I will just call it the present day for now. We return back to the laboratory to find a recorded message from the Professor and Natalie. They have been captured by a group of monkeys that were sent by Spectre's orders to bring them back to the TV tower. Spike has decided to go back in time, in the time machine, to travel the park, sewers, and the power plant to stop the creation process of the Peak Point helmet. Spike needs to get to the TV tower to stop Spectre. At this stage, we have finally destroyed his time ship, but Spectre still managed for a parting speech, then whoosh! Away he goes under his own power, warps to some other place. With the Professor and Natalie still captured by Jake under the orders from Spectre, and taken from what Spectre said in his final message to taunt us, a type of invitation to Monkey Park to play hide and seek, as he puts it, with the prize being the Professor and Natalie. After rescuing the two from the clown at the circus, whilst capturing a few more monkeys at the haunted mansion, Spike has a final showdown with Jake in a chariot battle with his go-kart. After whacking his go-kart in the back 4 times, Jake have been launched in the air, landing him on his back with only a minor headache, which has gotten rid of Spectre's brainwashing. Okay, now I'm quite surprised on the fact that Jake managed to be absolutely fine with no bruises or any fractured ribs or broken arm from falling from that tremendous height. He got launched from that go-kart and coming down with that velocity of speed to the moment he landed massively hard on his back. Seriously, am I not the only one that questions that? Moving on, anyway. After dealing with Jake, we headed off to the castle where we capture almost all of the monkeys. We travel its ins and outs of the castle. We find that one switch that opens the secret elevator behind the painting to get to Spectre to a showdown and capture him. After dealing with 2 phases of the robot, Spectre has thrown a huge temper tantrum to our hero Spike, only to teleport himself out of existence after his tantrum. This leads us back to the monkey park with the Professor saying, go back and collect the rest of the monkeys of each era you've missed. After collecting all the monkeys that you've missed from every era, the Professor gives you the final location where Spectre is for a final showdown. After hashing several blows to Spectre, we finally capture him, got him back to the park, back with his owner, and saved the world from being rewritten by the apes, and lived a peaceful life. Until such a dumbass repeated history, but that can wait. Even though the story is intriguing, leaving you wondering how it all ends up, but also getting taunted by the genius bastard Spectre throughout the journey for both the PAL version and the US version. I'm currently playing on the US version of Ape Escape. The story is alright, but the voice acting, it's a bit,
Spike? That little runt? He doesn't scare me. I've got a surprise for him.
What's going on? My powers! Why aren't they working?
Everything is under control and coming along very nicely, according to plan.
Make up your bloody mind.
I still need them to help me, so they're not going anywhere. Ah!
Shall I say decent from both versions? I cannot stress this enough. I just love the soundtrack that Ape Escape has constructed in each level, and that awesome intro as well. Oh, just wonderful music to my ears. But how you crawl in any level to sneak up on any of the monkeys, it goes to its lowest state of the soundtrack. Like, listen. is awesome of how it transitioned between those states. However, there's one or several particular tracks that do not change, with one of them being Crazy Castle. Even though it's a good soundtrack, but annoys me since it's one big long repetitive track in the big ass level. Like, goddamn, please change it or shut up! I just love how they have done with the graphics and the layouts of the game, with the beautiful lens flare in the intro, the dynamic sceneries and animation backgrounds of the level, the box cut of the buildings in the present era, pulsing animations in Dexter's stomach, and even minor details that makes the level from each era more intriguing. I also like how lively each levels have been set out from each era, how they change the vibe and color, like from the nature green on the hill to a dark volcanic mountain in the third level in Jurassic Era. Also the quiet ocean bay to the belly of the beast in Dexter's Island. See, those kind of details of each level I love about.
Let's go!
But what made this particular game unique? It's the gameplay mechanics. With the gameplay mechanics, with it being a rack 'em up platformer with using the analog sticks on the DualShock, with the left stick being mapped as movement for the character, with the right analog stick being the action button, either flicking it in a certain direction or to hold it down with some of the catching gadget, which switching the gadgets being mapped on the face button and the jumping on the right shoulder buttons, and using both of the analog stick to row your boat and to move a tank. Not sure how a kid would do that, but meh. But I'm pretty sure once you get all those buttons padded out, you'll be doing fine in no time. With the gadget that Spikes uses varies with the time net to capture the monkeys and send them back to the time machine. The stun baton to give you that extra second to capture the monkey or knock out those painful monkeys to catch. And also enemies that blocks your path. The scuba set to breathe underwater and to catch monkeys in the water. The slingshot to take enemies out from the distance, or to take aim for hard to reach areas or buttons to open the door or pathways you can come back later. The speed hoop to give you tremendous speed for a brief second. The power chopper to give you extra boost of height to hard to reach areas or safely slow your fall from tremendous heights without taking any fall damage. The RC car to get in hard to reach secret small areas to activate buttons or to chase monkeys out of their hidey hole. The magical lucky punch to break down any glowing walls. And the monkey radar I saved for last, because not only does it help you with finding monkeys and the set location of where they are, but it also indicates of the colored pants of what they are wearing. Blue pants meaning they are shy and unpredictable, which you need a quick swift catch of the net to catch them. Dark blue pants are the fastest little buggers and can leave you in the dust if you're not too careful of how to approach them or try to outsmart them along the way. Black pants spawning with the assault rifle. Holy shit, this monkey is packing heat! It's what most people may be thinking about that monkey, but don't worry, those monkeys are not much of a crack shot. Green pants are the technical one of the bunch, with goggles to spot you from a distance and rocking with a missile launcher pack, which if you're not too careful with the approach on this one, you pretty much be seeing the game over screen pretty often. White pants are the mixture of being the fastest and the smartest, and able to see you from a meter away from where you are, and will jump in any spaceship, turrets, and mow you down. Or they will run away to find the next banana to eat. Red pants monkeys are the pain in the ass, and insert name joke here. Well, bloody hell, you annoying little shit! These monkeys are absolute dead shots with their assault rifles and spotting with a bomb bag or missile pack to slow you down in your tracks, and are great escape artists, which makes you want to give them a missile shot with a slingshot. Yellow pants are the ones that I saved for last, even they are very common and are least expected, which means they got plenty of things up their sleeves. If they may be minding their own business, looking at the scenery or playing with objects, they can hurt you from shooting their ray gun, throwing stones, dropping banana peels to slow you down, and giving you a good old windmill punch to hurt you. Well, fuck me, I do not want to be closer to monkeys now if they can beat the living shit out of me. This isn't a simple see it and catch it. These monkeys will move and use anything from the environment around them to make sure you are dead. If you're not too careful, including those blasted enemies, which luckily we got cookies as health that we can collect by getting rid of them, getting rid of the enemies, or looking for those cookie jars. And these golden flavored Doritos, which if you collect 100 of those, you'll be able to gain an extra life, which it would be necessary to get extra life since the amount of closed death scenarios with those monkeys. Which, speaking of collecting, those specter tokens I've mentioned about from racing against Jake, yeah, those ones, they're everywhere in each level of every era. And what do you get from collecting those? Just mini games. They're used to test the DualShock analog sticks, which granted it can be fun for about 15 minutes. Stick Kids being a mini snow racing game with wonky controls for it. Cool borders this is not. Specter boxing, fine as it is, seems, but it does get a little bit repetitive to knock the bloody monkey out. And Space Monkey, which actually I do enjoy it. With it being a 2D scroller free to move shooter. Not sure if that's a thing, but fuck it. I had more fun with it. But at last, they are just mini games that were to test the analog stick.
Oh yes, there's one thing I actually forgot to mention. There's no bosses.
No, wait, what? Oh, well, maybe there are some bosses, but the Spectre boss fight and Spectre himself I could classify as boss. Even they bring some challenges of how to defeat them. I just wish they have mixed it up with their attack pattern to make it more interesting. Oh yeah, to get 100%, you gotta collect every Spectre tokens and to do the time trial of every single level. But to just beat the game by getting to Spectre, you just only need to collect the remaining monkeys in each level from each era you went by. Is it worth it for the end? Well, you do get yourself a final showdown with Spectre, which, mind you, it's difficult when you face him for the first time, but the ending is just a bit meh. So if you want to just finish the game by defeating Spectre himself, just go collect the remaining monkeys, don't bother collecting the Spectre tokens, and don't bother trying to get the finishing the time trial. But what got me questioning, why give Spike the tank twice and the boat 5 times? Like seriously. Anyway, looking at this game as a whole, it is an awesome game to play and explore the levels in each era. It also packs a challenging aspect when it comes to chasing monkeys in different environment and obstacles in each era, but I wish that they have actually put a more challenging aspect for the bosses. But with that being said, if you are looking for a good classic challenge, then Ape Escape is a game that will be interesting for you. But for now, I'm actually going to give this game a 3.5 hourglass out of 5. It is a very good game nevertheless. It is an awesome game, but it does have a little bit of lacking of the boss challenging of the boss expectation. If they have managed to put a little bit more time into the bosses, it would have actually been fun. But without a doubt, it's still an awesome game and a very good start for people who want to start collecting PS1 games. So without further doubt, I'd like to say thank you for watching the very first episode of the very first series of Planetary's Throwback. If you actually like this episode and you actually like the series, make sure you hit that like button, and also put a comment down below of what you think of the game. But if you're new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and keep up to date for any of the videos that I'll be uploading every now and then of Planetary's Throwback. But also to look back at the previous Planetary's Throwback, which I will throw that up in the end card so you can have a look at the previous 2 of 1944 The Loop Masters and also Time Crisis 2. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, this is Planetary signing off, and I'll see you guys for another episode for Planetary's Throwback, where we'll be looking at so many wonderful games, either from the modern day games or the retro games. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Ta-ta!